Nou, we zijn vandaag bij LTO 4 voor een bijzonder en exclusief interview met Char. At what age did you know that you were psychic?
Well, my family knew I was psychic, but no one really understood what that was. When I was like 4 years old, my father took me grocery shopping, and whenever he would come home, my mother would look at the bill to see if all the numbers added up with what was charged for the food. And I walked in with my father. I said, "Mommy, that lady cheated us," and I could barely count, let alone add up numbers. And my mom looked at the bill, and the woman overcharged us. So then a couple weeks later, my mother took me out to lunch, and the lady brought the bill. And I said, "Mommy, that lady overcharged us." And my mom is thinking in her head, "Oh, she's just wanting attention now because she got attention before." And my mother looked at the bill, and the woman overcharged us. So I was right. And I would always know things when I was little. And then when I was about 8 years old, I woke up in the middle of the night, and I saw a man in my room at the foot of the bed. And 2 weeks before this, our house was robbed. And so I thought that the people who robbed our house, no one was hurt. They just stole things. And we weren't home. But when I woke up in the middle of the night, I see this man, and I went, "Oh my goodness, those people are back again to steal from us." And I put the blankets over my head, and then I looked again, and he was a nice man. And he was wearing rags, and he had a pouch, and he went like this, and all these gold lights landed on me as he put them out like that. But I was afraid. I was very scared, and I put the blankets over my head, and I pinched myself to see if I was up. And then the next morning when I woke up, I said, Mommy, the burglars were here again. The burglars were here." She goes, "Honey, no, that was just a Sandman." I said, "Oh, there's a Sandman?" And she said, "Yeah." And I went, "Oh." So I didn't understand the concept. It was a spirit. It was like an angel, a ghost, a spirit coming to me. And my parents were wonderful because they never said, "Stop lying, stop trying to do this." They were always very open about it. And they were always saying, "It's okay." Because my dad always saw spirits as well.
Okay, and weren't you afraid to telling people?
Yeah, I was afraid to tell people, and I was afraid to be alone at night in the dark. I was afraid to be alone anywhere, and I was especially afraid to be in the dark. I had to have the door open when I went to bed at night, or the light on, or have one of my sisters or my parents stand in the doorway till I fell asleep at night, because I always felt an energy in the dark. And now I know what it is. Now I know that I have guardian angels who are protecting me. But I didn't know what it was then.
Okay, and how can children lose their intuition when they get older?
Well, children can use their intuition when they're born. In fact, many young people and children are very psychic. The problem is that as time goes on, society tries to take it away from them. But when you have parents who are very supportive and understanding and understand their own psychic intuition, then they encourage their own children to be psychic. I have a little nephew who is only 2 years old. His parents were looking for a new house. He was in the back seat in a car seat, and he was sound asleep. They were driving by a house. He wakes up, and he goes, "This is the one," and he goes back to sleep. And that's the house they ended up buying.
Okay, and at what age are kids the most intuitive?
Well, it depends. It can be at any age, but when you're using your psychic intuition, it's like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets.
Okay, and how can children keep their intuition?
By understanding this is another sense, just like we can see and we can hear and we can taste, we also have this gut feeling. And when we listen to that gut feeling, it's an overwhelming feeling of what is truth. And when we listen to it, we know it will help guide us in our lives because we all are protected and we're all guided.
Okay. And if children's parents don't believe in the spirit world, do you have advice for the children?
That's a good question. Well, I think it's very important for people to pray because there's positive and negative energy on the earth and in the spirit world. It's really important for people to keep thoughts positive and energy positive. And God is love and love is God. That's what I was always taught. So when you think on a higher level of goodness and you think of a white light of protection, you can always do this on your own in your mind and in your thoughts because there's nothing wrong with prayer and asking the universe to guide you. It's okay if you don't believe in a life after death, but you can believe in a higher power of goodness who will protect you because we are all protected when we listen.
Okay. Now, do you know your own future?
I know some things about my own future. I do. But I believe that life is a school. We're here to learn. And it's not so much about predicting the future. It's more about the choices we make along the way. And when we use logic, common sense, and our intuition, that's when we make our wisest choices because we create our destiny by our choices. So if we're positive and we're ambitious and we work hard, we can create the life that we want.
Nou, thank you very much voor die interview. En na het interview heeft Char nog voor iedereen een advies gegeven. Thank you. Yeah, nice
Greatest gifts in life are not material things. The greatest gift is love and friendship and family. And we all are gifted with our sixth sense of intuition. And it's really important for everybody to think positive and to put a white light of protection around you because that white light of protection will protect you always. And if you ever feel afraid and you're scared, put that white light around you and whoever you pray to, if it's Christ or God or Allah or Buddha, whoever it is that you pray to, you might even pray to that highest level of energy that is love. My father always told me God is love and love is God, and that's what I believe. But if you think on that higher level and you live with a clear conscience that you do what is right, we all know right from wrong, and you live with what is right in your heart, your life will always be happy.